Hello, it's Dr. Abby on Tell Me the Stories of Jesus. I'm here again for us to discuss a story in the Bible and then we'll learn from it. Remember, we're still on our journey to the promised land, and I want to believe that all the things we've been learning, you've been putting it to practice, you're getting better, and you're seeing the benefits. And so remember last Sunday, God gave us and the children of Israel the rules and regulations to stand by. Yes, today we're in Exodus chapter 32. And so what happened there? God had called Moses with his assistant, Joshua, a young man was his assistant now. God called Moses and he said, come up the mountain. You know all those 10 commandments? God wanted him to write it down on a stone so that they would always, the children of Israel, remember it. They will always see it and they will remember. God wanted Moses for a while, so he went up the mountain. They didn't know how long he was going to be up the mountain for. And it appears he went for a while, and they got tired, the children of Israel. They got tired of waiting for Moses. And whilst Moses was gone, of course, Aaron, his brother, was stepping in as the leader for the children of Israel. So after they had waited for a long time and they could not, Moses had not come back, they went to Aaron and they told him, can't you make something for us so that we can worship that thing? That will take the place of God. They will worship it, and I don't know what they were thinking, to be honest. And so they told Aaron that because we don't know when Moses will be back, and we need something, to worship, to talk to. And what did Aaron do? Aaron said, okay, bring all your earrings, your jewelry, all your gold, bring everything. And they gave it to Aaron. And when they gave it to him, he melted it in hot fire and he made a golden calf. So a calf is like a young cow. So you can imagine what it looked like. And it was all gold. And when he made it for them, they shouted, they were happy, they bowed down to it, they worshipped it, and there was so much noise. And when Moses was coming back, he was like, what is all that noise about, with Joshua? And you can imagine when he got back to the camp, down there at the bottom of the mountain where the children of Israel were, they were worshipping the golden calf. And Moses was so angry. He took the stone in his hands, he smashed it to pieces on the floor. He was angry. Even God was angry. And God was just going to, you know what, I've had enough. Yes, they are my people, but I've had enough. How long will they not listen? They're not listening, and God was going to wipe them out. And Moses begged. He begged God, don't wipe them out. If our enemies hear, they will make fun of us. You've delivered us from so many of them. Please have mercy. And then God had mercy. That will bring us to the end of our story today. And then we will learn. And what are we learning? Here, majorly, it's the things we don't do as we are going to our promised land. The first commandment, God had only just given them the commandments. The first commandment, you will have no other God before me. You don't put any other thing in my place, and you will not carve. Isn't it what he said? You will not make unto yourself a graven image. And Aaron made just exactly that. You know how many of us are like that? Once they say don't do A, you go ahead and do. You then don't want to do any other thing but that A. Should I remind you of people like that in the Bible? Eve, Adam, don't eat that apple. That was the apple they wanted. Samson, don't marry people outside of Israel. Oh, he wanted people outside of Israel. Don't cut your hair. He tells somebody the secret so they could cut the hair. Yeah? Different. Samson was just even notorious for disobeying every rule. And that was what the Israelites did. And Aaron, a leader, should have known better. He succumbed. He gave to their pressures and he made them that golden calf. So lesson number 1, God's rules, abide by it. Don't break it for any reason. They said because Moses had not come back from the mountain. Is our focus human being? No. God gives us leaders, but at the end of the day, it's all about God. Your Christian life is between you and God. Don't have a Christian life whereby when the person you think is leading you is not in the picture, then you start to misbehave. That means you've not yet understood what it means to be a friend of Jesus, a friend of God. If your mommy and daddy are not at home, they expect you to behave until they come back. They don't expect you when they step out just to go to the shops. You break the TV, you break the plate, you break everything. No, the same thing with our walk with God. Whether people are there or not, we stay true to God, we obey God, we don't get impatient. And also imagine yourself being Aaron, because on this trip to the promised land, you are either a leader or you are just one of the people. You might not be a leader, it doesn't matter as long as you're going to the promised land and you get there. So if you find yourself a leader on this journey to the promised land, don't give in to pressure. And even as part of people, not being a leader, peer pressure, don't ever give in to it. And that's what happened to Aaron and even all the people there. And they broke the rule. The first rule, they didn't even break rule number 10 or number 8 and will say, oh, they forgot about it. The first rule, the one that had to do with God that rescued them, they just broke it. So, that's one lesson we must learn. Don't give in to pressure. Don't give in to peer pressure. Don't give in to pressure from people beneath you. Don't break God's rule. Don't, because some other people are not there, think you can break the rule. There will always still be consequences. The fact that the teacher is not around does not mean you start to misbehave in class. No, there's somewhere great you're going to. You can't behave like every naughty boy and girl around. So that's another lesson. And always remember, don't bow down to any other God. Don't succumb to anything else, than aside from God. And when Moses came down and he saw all that had happened, he was angry. He broke the calf. He burnt it and everything. And he told Aaron, why did you do that? You should have known better. And Aaron said, yes, the pressure, everything. And they brought their gold. They brought their jewelry. No, you asked them to bring it. And I threw it into the fire. And out came the calf. Is that how calves just come out of fire? And that's what happened when some of us, we've been caught doing something naughty. The excuse that comes out of your mouth, it just makes people even more angry. Out comes the calf. No, you molded it. You took time to disobey God. So this is not the time to make up excuses. The pressure. You're a leader. Can a year 1 pressurize a year 6 head boy to do the wrong thing? So the head teacher comes and says, head boy, year 6, why were you making noise? And you say, Tommy in foundation said I should make noise. You can imagine the look on that head teacher's face. No, you don't do that. So on this walk to the promised land, as a leader, be a leader. And as leaders and followers, if you mess up, hands up. Hands on your head. Oh my God, I'm sorry. Repent. Don't give annoying excuses. Because all the time you were misbehaving, God was there. God is present everywhere. He wasn't just on the mountain alone with Moses. He knew what they were doing downstairs. He knew, but he was just watching them like, I cannot believe this. So you disobey God when you don't know. Remember we said we are learning to know about this God that is taking us to the promised land. When you don't know him, you disobey him. Because you think he's not there. There is no, in the toilet, in the bathroom, in the bedroom, in the cupboard, everywhere he is. So just live your life like there's a CCTV watching me. That is God. He's watching you. You can't hide. Okay? Have I been too harsh? Sorry, the children of Israel made me really angry. But yes, I hope we've learned the story from here. We've learned all the lesson that we need to learn. We're going to the promised land. We're standing for Christ. We're not compromising. We're not falling to peer pressure. We make mistakes. We own up. We ask for forgiveness. We don't go back and make the mistake. Until I see you next time, hopefully, maybe the children of Israel will make us happy in the next story. It's Dr. Abby, and it's in Exodus chapter 32. Go back and read it. Have a beautiful week. Bye.